Alif. Ayo dong.
Alif doesn't like it when his mother goes away. But since his father, Munir, was assassinated, Suciwati has been travelling a lot. For 3 years now, she's been on a tireless campaign to bring her husband's killers to justice. This time, she's on her way to Holland.
Tunggu ibu ya, minggu.
Seminggu.
Alif is now old enough to know what happened. The other day, he accidentally saw news on TV about Polikarpus, the Garuda pilot accused of poisoning his father.
Dia akan mendengarkan. Nah, dia ternyata kemudian marah-marah kalau ketahuan itu Polikarpus itu pembunuh. Polikarpus itu yang membuat kita tidak mempunyai abah. Polikarpus bukan satu-satunya pembunuh abah. Ya, saya bilang bahwasanya ada orang jahat yang ingin membunuh abah karena kelakuan mereka takut diketahui.
This is Munir in 2004, 1 month before he was killed. He was a fierce critic of the Indonesian military and intelligence, investigating their illegal activities and lobbying for their many victims.
Mereka berebut kuasa, mereka menenteng senjata, mereka menembak rakyat, tapi kemudian bersembunyi di balik ketek kekuasaan. Apakah kita biarkan orang-orang pengecut itu tetap gagah? Tidak! Saya kira tidak, mereka gagal untuk gagah, mereka hanya ada di baju. Tapi dalam tubuh mereka adalah sesuatu kehinaan.
Munir left Jakarta on September 7th, 2004, on a Garuda Airlines flight to Holland. En route, he was given a lethal dose of arsenic and died an agonizing death. Polikarpus Prianto, a Garuda pilot and alleged agent of the intelligence agency BIN, was sentenced to 14 years jail for the murder last year, but then controversially acquitted. And that was the end of that, until now. A judicial review is hearing sensational new information in this controversial case. Police are introducing new evidence in a bid to have Polikarpus retried for the murder. For weeks, Munir's widow, Suciwati, has sat in the public gallery hanging on every word. One new witness is Radin Patma, alias Ucok. He worked as a freelance news photographer, including a stint working for Reuters, but says he is also a BIN agent. Ucok says he received an order to kill Munir from a Mr. Sentot, his handler at BIN. In his police statement, he quotes Mr. Sentot 4 months before Munir was killed.
If we put a bomb in Munir's car, would that be dangerous? Munir has to die before the presidential election, and you have to put forward a funding proposal for Munir's murder.
They came up with 4 ideas for killing Munir, and even tested the arsenic on a cat. The results pleased Mr. Sentot, who said it was
Top stuff. We put it on salt fish, gave it to a cat, and the cat died.
BIN claims Ucok is not their agent, but he was able to give police this detailed description of his handler's office. Then the former chief executive officer of Garuda Airlines, Indra Setiawan, explains he received a letter before Munir's death from the intelligence agency BIN. It was hand-delivered to him by Polikarpus and was a request to give him a security job at the airline.
Yang menandatangani surat siapa? Yang menulis surat adalah wakil kepala Badan Intelijen Negara As'ad. Menunjukkan dia ada capnya rahasia.
Indra Setiawan then authorized Polikarpus to travel when and where he wanted. He used this to get on the flight with Munir. After denying any role in Munir's murder, the former Garuda chief has now changed his mind and is testifying against Polikarpus. But in May this year, he was desperate to ensure the BIN letter was covered up. In a dramatic moment, the court hears a secretly recorded phone call the former Garuda boss made to Polikarpus.
Otaknya muter terus dari kemarin, dari bulan hari ini begitu jadi kejadian. Iya. Buat tahu bosnya asistennya bos ini. Itu tenang aja.
Investigators believe Mrs. Asmini is a code name for the BIN deputy director who wrote the letter to Indra Setiawan.
Kalau sudah nggak ada itu barang-barang itu nggak ada semua, sudah nggak ada. Yang di tempat saya juga nggak ada. Kemudian yang di tempat Pak Indra juga kalau sudah nggak ada ya. Makanya saya sudah jaga, saya yang hanya khawatir kalau pada proses itu ada fotokopi terus sekarang begini. Nah itu yang saya khawatir. Oh enggak. Kalau punya bapak sudah disistro ya sudah habis.
He made a very big mistake in this case. He is the director of Garuda and he tried to cover up all he knows, and now he tried to took back his statements from the very beginning. So he changed his mind, and I'm happy that he's changed his mind, and I hope that the police put him under protection so then he can sing more song in this case.
One of the most significant new developments is that the police also seem to have changed their minds about where Munir was poisoned. They now believe the arsenic was added to his drink at a coffee shop at Singapore Airport rather than on the plane.
But maybe the poisoning took place more than one times, but then the police didn't find the evidence in the plane. They only found the evidence in the airports. So that's why they try to focus on the airports. But that doesn't mean that in the plane there's nothing happened.
Another witness called by the court is Ongen, who was on his way to Holland on the same flight. He described seeing Munir with Polikarpus at the Coffee Bean Cafe at Singapore Airport. This is what he wrote down for police.
When I walked into the Coffee Bean, I saw Polikarpus coming from the drinks counter. Then I ordered a drink. Polikarpus returned to his seat. I got my drink and looked for a seat. I saw Polikarpus sitting with Munir, chatting and drinking.
But after such a clear description to police, in court, Ongen, an Indonesian singer, dramatically changes his tune.
Dan saya tidak pernah melihat Polikarpus duduk dengan Munir.
Clearly frustrated, the prosecutor reads from Ongen's signed police statement.
Sudah ada saudara Munir dan seorang laki-laki yang saat itu saya belum mengenal orangnya. Namun setelah kurang lebih 4 bulan, saya mengetahui dari media elektronik bahwa orang yang dimaksud adalah saudara Polikarpus. Tapi pada saat tersebut saudara ada di Coffee Bean? Ada. Kalau tidak benar, kenapa saudara harus tanda tangan?
Saya tekan.
Ditekannya bagaimana?
Anda saya jadikan tersangka, demi Tuhan saya jadikan tersangka. Langsung saya pingsan. Kemudian waktu saya sadar, saya pegang celana saya ini sudah bahasa terkencing. Itu saya udah sangat-sangat tersiksa.
Ongen's role in this murky affair remains unclear, but he may well be worried about the consequences of his statement, which in effect implicates the intelligence agency BIN in the murder. The judge checks with Police Commander Pambudi, who took Ongen's statement.
Apakah ketika saksi Ongen memberikan keterangan lancar dari mulutnya sendiri?
Sangat-sangat lancar. Di situ ada setiap saya pemeriksaan itu didampingin oleh lawyer. Jadi mohon maaf kalau keterangannya di poin 49 di sini dicabut dengan alasan tertekan. Di situ mohon maaf Ibu Hakim.
Apa yang dikatakan oleh Kombes Pambudi bohong.
Dengan ini sidang dinyatakan tutup.
After the day's session, one journalist says he thought Polikarpus looked nervous.
Enggak, saya nggak gugup. Itu kan pendapat Bapak barangkali. Saya tidak. Tanggapan saksi Ongen, Pak, gimana Pak? Keberatan ya Pak, keterangan saksi Ongen? Keterangan Ongen itu saya kira jujur ya, karena saya memang tidak ke Cafe Bin. Kalau yang lainnya Pak? Kalau yang lain itu mungkin juga salah lihat atau karena orang itu kan mirip. Saya lihat Anda juga mungkin. Saya biarkan aja lah mereka. Nanti hukum biar berjalan. Terima kasih semua. Pak, boleh Anda juga membantah anggota Bin? Oh, jelas. Saya bukan anggota Bin. Tidak ada kepentingan.
But Usman Hamid from the government's fact-finding team claims the police even have recordings of Polikarpus's many phone calls to Bin.
I talked to one of the general in the police, and he has convinced me that they got the records of the telephone calls. But the very short, yes, no, yes, just do it, yes. So that kind of conversation.
The 7th of September marked the 3rd anniversary of Munir's death. And for the first time in Indonesian history, there's a demonstration at Bin headquarters. A few years back, no one would have dared take on this all-powerful intelligence agency. Suciwati tells the crowd her husband's case goes to the heart of Indonesia's new democracy.
Hampir semua orang dengan akal sehat bisa melihat bahwa kasus Munir merupakan ujian bagi reformasi sistem kenegaraan. Bahkan Presiden SBY sendiri sudah menegaskan bahwa kasus Munir merupakan ujian bagi sejarah Indonesia. Indonesia! Indonesia! Rakyat Indonesia!
They climb onto the fence and Usman Hamid and Suciwati offer flowers to the Bin personnel.
I'm giving the flower as a proof that we love the country. We love the country and we will build the country without any anti-humanity practice, without any crimes, without any violence. And we want intelligence agency to clean up themselves from any criminals inside.
Usman Hamid says there is now a split appearing inside the agency over the Munir case.
I think the current situation is, we can say, it's a kind of power struggle inside Bin, inside police, and in Indonesian politics in general. So I think what is happened today is a very serious process of legal proceeding, of investigation. But what will happen tomorrow, it will still depend on how that power struggle running, who will win that struggle.
As Suciwati approaches the airport en route to Europe to continue her international campaign on this case, she says there's no alternative but to fight for justice.
Kalau mati hanya sia-sia ya buat apa hidup? Itu saja sih. Cita-citanya simpel, ingin melihat Indonesia berubah menjadi lebih baik. Saya ingin melihat anak-anak cucu saya juga begitu, tidak ada lagi pembunuhan, penculikan, secara paksa yang dilakukan atas nama kekuasaan.